Hey, hey, it's another day at the Fendick Theater Experience. I'm Blake.
I'm Sydney.
Let's create.
Today's performance target is we will learn how to embody characters through their costumes.
Costumes tell us a lot about our characters, just like the characters' blocking, gestures, and tone.
Exactly. Costumes are much more than just pieces of fabric.
Costumes tell us things about the character's personality traits, the character's growth, and much more.
Today we're going to go through the questions that a costume designer asks themselves while designing the costume.
Okay, quick side note. The costume designer is the person that designs the costume. The seamstress is the person that actually creates the costume and helps it come to life. Okay, now back to our regular scheduled programming.
Some questions that are important to consider are:
what color or colors does the character embody or represent?
what time period/era are the characters from?
What personality traits does the character actually have?
All of these questions and many more are very helpful when it comes to designing a costume.
Today, Sydney and I will be designing our own costumes.
And just to make it a bit easier for us, we have narrowed down the characters we can choose from. So we'll be choosing from Lumiere and Belle from Disney's Beauty and the Beast. So Blake, who do you want to design for?
I think I'll choose Lumiere because he's a pretty cool guy and everything.
Okay, I'll take Belle.
All right, so before we get started on our sketches, I'm going to go through some questions that you might want to ask yourself before you start designing yourself. So, Sydney, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
So, what are the colors that immediately pop in your head when I say the character name, Belle?
So since I've seen the Disney movie, I would have to say blue, white, and yellow/gold.
Okay, so why do you think those colors best represent Belle?
Well, I know blue is the symbol of wisdom, loyalty, and intelligence, which I think all pretty much hit the nail on the head for Belle. And white symbolizes goodness and light. Then finally, gold/yellow represents love, compassion, magic, and joy. And I think those all kind of sum up Belle pretty well.
Now, I would agree. I would say you hit the nail on the head with that one. So now that you have all that information, so with that information, how did you find it?
So I did not know what these colors symbolize like right off the top of my head, but I went online to look at what the colors represent and symbolize to see if those colors do portray my character and what traits they do have throughout the story. And since all of the colors I chose pretty much do hit the nail on the head with Belle, I didn't have to change any colors. But if I were to pick red, which is usually represent of anger and things along that nature, I would have changed red to a different color.
Nice. Alrighty, so on to the next question. What time period are you designing Belle's costume in?
Okay, so I know she isn't originally from this time period, but I really wanted to give her a more modern costume. So I'm going to put her in the year 2020.
Okay, cool. I would ask you about certain character traits about Belle, but you seem to have already answered that question when we were talking about the colors.
Yeah, so those two questions are kind of tied together. The traits the character has should really be represented by the colors in the costume. So Blake, now it's your turn. So what colors do you think of when I say Lumiere?
I think about mostly gold.
Okay, and so why does gold represent Lumiere?
Well, like you said when we were talking about gold for Belle, gold symbolizes compassion, courage, magic, grandeur, and glitz and glamour.
I would have to say those all sum up Lumiere very well.
I have to agree.
So Blake, what time period are you putting Lumiere in?
Like you, I'm also going to put Lumiere in a modern era. So I'm gonna design Lumiere as if it is 2020 right now.
Okay, well, I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Thanks. Now that we've gone through our thought process and questions, it's time to create. Let's go.
Belle, and I did a modern version, as I said. And when I think modern, I just think this sleek type of dress that you kind of wear to a gala or the red carpet. And so she's in a 8-line, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. It's a strapless dress. And it's form-fitting all the way until the bottom, so it's kind of like a mermaid dress, but it's just super sleek all the way down. You can't tell because we don't have like sparkle pencils or anything, but there's like a sheen of sparkle all over the dress to make it pop when like lights hit it.
Nice.
And so she also has these gloves that kind of go up to her elbows, and those also have a yellow sparkle material on them as well. And she has just a little choker, which I think is just kind of a modern flair that we're going to right now. And of course, that has to have sparkle too. We don't want her to look dull.
No, you need the sparkle. I really like how it doesn't go too long in the back. So that like it's very unlikely that the beast will accidentally trip her when like they're dancing.
Yeah, and I mean, if she needs to, she could always pick it up. There's a little strap there somewhere.
Cool, I'll show you mine. So mine's Lumiere. I'm not the greatest at drawing, so I'll describe to you what it looks like. So the idea of it is that it's all shades of a flame.
Okay.
So his trousers, they're more like a Lvly jean type material that's a little more slim fit, not skinny, but a slim fit because he's kind of on the move all the time. And he has a little belt that has a really, I would call it a slick, just simple belt buckle. He has a red tuxedo shirt on, but if you look at the blazer right here, the colors of the blazer that goes along the front of the jacket is orange, and the jacket part of the blazer is a more vibrant yellow. So the idea is that the parts of the flame come together, and then the collar has a little mixture of the orange in it as well. His shoes are based off the Tom's idea design. So the top of it has the orange, and the side it also has the yellow, because in the story it's an enchanted being. So there can't be any like skin because he is a human. So it's supposed to be very goldish, like if he was a real candelabra. The whole idea, I'm not the wig designer, but I just put some red on the top to just go at the idea that there's constant flames everywhere. So you see his hands. And yeah, that is my design for Lumiere.
Looks very good. Thanks.
Now we've learned about how to make our own costume designs.
Yay!
Now we want to see your costume designs for either Belle or Lumiere.
Feel free to take any creative liberties you want. You can either make a variation of their costume or a modern version.
The sky's the limit. In the description below, you're going to find a link to a document that will have the models that you can print out at your own home and draw yourself.
Send us a video or a picture of your creations. Instructions on how to send in a creation are in the link below.
Remember to like and follow our Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our channel.
Thanks for learning and creating with us.
See you tomorrow!